Hello, my name is Duke Walker, and I serve the beloved people of Lanier Village Estates as the chaplain in North Georgia. It's good to be with you today for this devotional. You know, in the New Testament, we see this pattern where Jesus goes away repeatedly to spend time in prayer, and with only the rare exceptions, do we know what the contents of his prayer actually are. And so I would like to suggest to you that the bulk of that time that Jesus, and this is an argument from silence, but as you recall from our first devotion this year that we did, that all true prayer begins in silence, as it was in Genesis 1. So I would suggest to you that Jesus is going away to listen to the Father. As we continue to explore living life prayerfully, you'll recall that, again, as our best beginnings are found in silence, as Genesis 1. And then we spoke about and realized the need to know a God who listens to us, which we found in Exodus 2 with the Israelites in slavery. God heard their groaning. And then in being heard, we gain the courage to have an encounter with the living God, as Moses did at the burning bush. Well, once we've survived that encounter with the living God, we begin to thrive. And we do so as we listen to the God we've encountered in prayer. So the New Testament pattern shows Jesus going away from the crowds for long periods of time to deserted places. You think about how busy things can be around our communities for you as residents, all the activities, all the opportunities to volunteer, all the family, and it's all good. And yet, if we never take time away to be intentional about our relationship with God, to listen, we'll find ourselves kind of swept away by the tide of good things. And we might just miss the goodness of God in the life we've been given. Jesus goes away to listen, to be intentional about this relationship and receiving this gift of life he's been given by the Father. He says in John 12, "For I did not speak on my own, but the Father who sent me commanded me to say all that I have spoken." See, what Jesus says presumes that he's first listened, right? What a wonderful world it would be to live in a world where everybody's first priority was to listen and truly hear not just one another, but God. And this is a significant turning point in our life of prayer, because what we learn in the Latin is that the word for obedience actually means to be willing to listen to. See, our obedience is directly related to our listening in relationship with God. And so listening makes our relationship with God much more about loving and being loved, rather than a list of to-dos and to-don'ts. But it's precisely in this mutual listening between God and humanity, and us and God, that we discover a deeper desire to offer our obedience to the God who 1 John says is perfect love, which casts out all fear, as love does. And to do so in the way we live in our relationships with others. See, prayer as listening becomes about being inspired to live a life of love as God so loved the world. And that's why Jesus goes away for long periods of time to deserted places, away from the crowds and the everyday things, to listen to the Father, because he knows the Father's love for the world is so immense that Jesus wants to offer that to us. And to do so, he needs to be in a deep relationship with God, which he invites us all into as well. So, may you take some time away this day and as a way of life to know the God who is with you, listens to you, wants to encounter you, and has a word to speak to you that gives life to you and others that you live in relationship and community with where you are.